Well, good morning, Redeemer Community Church. I miss my spiritual family. Hate to not be able to worship with you guys over the last couple of weeks, but hope everyone's doing well, that you're trusting in Christ. As we enter the weekend, I wanted to just give you one personal encouragement, maybe to think about the following over the weekend, what it means to rest. Not rest in naps, although naps are good. Take a nap, that's great. But rest in Christ, and to think about that. I've been reading through the Psalms, and it's interesting how God works these things out in Psalms 37 through 39 lately. And even just waiting on the Lord, and I feel like that connection with rest. So if you get a chance to read through those, here's 4 verses to look at: 37:7, 37:34, 38:15, and 39:7. So just this idea of waiting on God and resting in Him in these, not just these times, but all times. So something just to think about. But let's jump into the text. We're going to be in 1 Peter chapter 2, and we're looking at 11 through 17. As I read these verses, what I want you to remember is that Peter just got done telling the people of the people that he's written to that they are the people of God, that they're a chosen generation and a royal priesthood, and that they're God's people. And so now in these verses, he's telling them, here's how you should live then and act. And this is very applicable to what we're dealing with right now, I think you'll see. So let me read these verses for us. Beloved, I urge you as sojourners and exiles to abstain from the passions of the flesh, which wage war against your soul. Keep your conduct among the Gentiles honorable, so that when they speak against you as evildoers, they may see your good deeds and glorify God on the day of visitation. Be subject for the Lord's sake to every human institution, whether it be to the emperor as supreme or to governors as sent by him to punish those who do evil and to praise those who do good. For this is the will of God, that by doing good you should put to silence the ignorance of foolish people. Live as people who are free, not using your freedom as a cover-up for evil, but living as servants of God. Honor everyone, love the brotherhood, fear God, honor the emperor. Well, as I was looking at those verses and thinking about them, a couple of things came to mind. First is that we should do good. Peter says it a couple of times in this passage. So how should we do good? Well, verse 11 says we should do good by having self-control. So we, in our own lives, should not give in to the passions of the flesh, but be looking to love and serve and honor God. So as we're going through these days of difficulty, or as we're going through any day, how do we submit to Christ rather than submitting to our fleshly desires? And that's an ongoing struggle. And honestly, it can be tough if we're all in a house together a lot more than we're used to. So how do we love one another and care for one another and not give in to the passions, to anger, to frustration, to things of that nature, but rather submit to Christ? And another way he tells us to do good is in verse 12. It says that you should conduct yourselves honorably among the Gentiles. So how do we honorably love and care for our neighbors in this window of time? And just in general, how do we do that? Whether it is just a smile, or do they need groceries, or whether you go to Walmart and don't buy up all the toilet paper, whatever that looks like, that you love and care for your neighbors in a way that then they may speak evil of. They may say, well, a Christian, what are they? But they see your actions, they see your life, and they go, oh, this is different. In the end, they may trust in Christ. And then verse 13 tells us that we should submit to worldly authorities, which is what we're trying to do right now, right? We're trying to submit and do what they've asked us to do during this pandemic. So we're trying to do those things and do it in a loving way. But why would we do it? Well, it says so that people will glorify God. We want more people to worship Him, and so that the foolish will be silenced. Again, that will glorify God, right? And then the last thought I'd leave you with is verse 16. Remember whose you are. We are slaves to God. We are servants of God. And so we live for and honor and serve Him. And we do that with freedom from other things. And so I would just encourage you to remember those things as we go through this week. And I would leave you with this, that last verse that Peter kind of used to sum things up. Honor everyone, love the brotherhood, fear God, and honor the emperor. So let's do those things as we go through the rest of our week. God bless you. Miss you, brothers and sisters.